And we're back with Gaming Well Wasted, episode 2 of Power Rangers. Wendell just beat level 1, so I'm going to take over for level 2.
Hand it off.
I guess I'll take Trini.
Yeah, Trini's pretty good.
Trini's pretty good. Yeah.
She's,
Anyways,
she's a shorter range, that's all.
I was saying in the last episode about consumers, and what it was exactly was... Actually, no, I'll show also Trini. She has her standing animation. Everyone had one. I liked her animation in general for this one, because you'll see she has... a regular standing one. It's like she's practicing fighting moves. Well, yeah, I don't know what she's doing there.
Oh, like almost like a kata.
And then she has like a dove jump here, which is like, I don't know. It's just.
Oh, I didn't jump with Billy.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Billy, when he's in his regular form, he does like a front somersault. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, here's the one where it actually does damage to the villains here.
Oh, you can destroy those.
Yeah, that move actually is from the show.
Well, what you want to do is do a straight up jump and smack it.
Yeah.
If you
I know. I let it go there because then he takes out everyone for me.
Oh, okay, cool. See? And there's no score. There's no
nothing in
extra 1-ups.
You just gotta kind of do your thing. These things do it does hella damage to them though if it hits them. Come on, guys, making me waste my time here. Oh, screw this. I also did some research. It seems that, from what I could tell, all the costumes worn by the humans in this game, only Billy's appeared in the show, at least from...
His overalls?
Basically? Yeah, the overalls. Everyone else, like this one-piece full yellow suit here...
Well, it's not a one-piece.
Almost
it's
a
like
one-piece.
Yellow pants, yellow top.
Yeah, like yellow spandex pants. Like, I've yet to see Trini wear that in the show, because she was wearing some really bad 90s clothing back then. Stand barrels. But anyways, back to consumers and what it was.
I could take over for this.
Yeah.
Basically, consumers, you go into the store, you have your catalog, you have a piece of paper, you write down the item number, you bring it to the person at the counter, and they'd go into the back room to see if they had the item. So if a toy was very popular, they wouldn't have that toy. They wouldn't have that game. They wouldn't. It was very weird, so they would always be understocked for whatever.
Yeah, and
reason.
the concept of consumers, like why it was like that, was because they told you because they didn't have to have employees or a big location like a Walmart or whatever at the time, or Toys R Us, they were able to sell the items cheaper, which wasn't true because the items were always just as expensive as everywhere else. And the worst part was, in my entire childhood life, I have never gone to consumers where you asked for an item and they came back with it. It was always out of stock. Because I think their biggest flaw was, due to the fact that they were small, they just couldn't keep everything back there, or to have multiples of something down there. So, I remember the first time, it was for Power Rangers, the Megazord, didn't have it. Street Fighter for Super Nintendo, didn't have it. The reboot toys, didn't have it. And then it's like I just lost hope in them. And then of course other stores came along and it's just like, what's the point of consumers anymore? And I guess the rest of the world thought that too, and consumers filed for bankruptcy. But any memory that anyone ever has of consumers was those amazing catalogs. And as a kid, sometimes the only way I would be able to get any of those toys was to cut out the consumer's catalog and stare at them as closely as possible, so that the toy was almost the size of your face.
But like, I remember I was able to get the Naughty Night from Zellers when they just so happened to have it. I got Megazord at the Zellers near our house back in the day when we grew up.
Trini's gonna get buff here. Roids! Against the gnarly gnome. That's actually his name.
So remember, if you do an up attack, yeah, she does the overhead.
Like this. Ugh.
And if you and as you're doing your combo, I think during the third hit you press down, she'll do like a flip over.
Also, if you do double jump, there's a backflip.
Oh really?
Yeah, like that.
Oh shoot, I didn't know that.
No, there's a lot of weird stuff in this game.
But was there a favorite bad guy?
Oh god.
What's your favorite character?
Well, Zach was initially it, and then when Tommy came around, I was just like, fucking Dragon Zord, man. and it literally was Tommy for the longest time. And then I remember, like, Tiger Zord, it was the same thing. It was just Tommy. But then when Zeo came around, and Jason came back, and he took over as the Gold Ranger with Pyramidas, I was like, fucking Jason, man. Jason is awesome. I mean, I don't want to get into like Sentai and everything, like the Japanese counterparts.
Nah, let's stick with Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, it's always
keep
been
it focused.
It's always been like I really liked Zack for majority of the series just because he was so colorful and fun. Tommy just because he was just so badass. I mean, I don't care what people think of Jason David Frank. I mean, as a person, because I mean, there's so much footage online of that he was kind of an asshole in real life and on the set.
Oh, okay.
There's actually footage online where this guy follows Jason David Frank around when he was filming Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Oh, Jesus.
Come on, dude.
And it pretty much he was harassing the actor who played Billy. I think it was David Yosh was his name.
I think so.
Like he was harassing him and stuff, and it showed how like Jason, the guys who played Jason, which was Austin St. John and Walter Jones who played Zack, those two were chill as hell. They were like super chill. They were awesome. Even Zack, he would like joke around how, yeah, I'm the Black Ranger. Go figure, you know. Like he would like. They were both cool, but it showed how like Tommy's actor, the Green Ranger, Jason David Frank, was quite the douchebag, and he was shown like giving the middle finger to Billy on set, and just wasn't a nice guy. But we all love the Ranger. And just, you know,
well, isn't that a way for him to get extra like time in the A&R booth?
Oh, who knows?
So you get paid.
Who knows? Who knows?
I think he did admit that. He's like, I added that in just so I could like get some extra time in and get paid a little bit more, a little bit extra. But who was your favorite bad guy? If you had a favorite, like of all like,
well, not counting like the main dudes like Goldar, Squash, whatever his name was. Who's the bad one guy? I forget his name.
I forgot those extra dudes.
And then you have Finster, who created the monsters.
Or with Scorpina.
Yeah, or Scorpina, which see that was a weird one too, because Scorpina actually hooked up with Goldar in the Japanese version.
Wall jumping in this game.
I know it. She hooked up with Goldar and had a kid with him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was done in the American version, but I know in the Japanese version that was a thing.
Wasn't it a thing in the American one?
I don't remember actually.
Because I remember they were together, no? Or am I?
They were in the show. They emphasized that they were together. But I don't think it was ever in. I don't think they ever mentioned their kid.
Oh, okay.
And it's the same thing like in the Japanese version. Rita had a kid.
Yeah.
Named Kai, and he was actually the original pilot of Cyclopsis or something. It wasn't Goldar. That was just invented for the Power Ranger version.
Remember, keep it for the American.
Yeah, I'll keep it for the American cat.
We're sticking with.
If I keep talking about Zoo Ranger or Jew Ranger as it's called in Japanese, everyone's gonna be confused as hell.
We're gonna be here all night.
What do you mean the Red Ranger, the Green Ranger brothers, and the Green Ranger died? Long story. Go find the subs. tvnihon.com. I think I have to kill this dude.
But yeah, you do. But no, like I said, who's your favorite bad guy they had to fight? If you remember.
Let me try to think.
Because it's a while back.
Naughty Knight was kind of cool. Pudgy Pig had 2 episodes.
Oh, you ended up getting 2?
Yeah, he actually had 2 episodes. I remember that. And it was hilarious the way they wrote it. They acted like they never met him. Also.
Oh, yeah. I think
they were just recycling the costumes or something.
I don't know. It felt like that. The show. It felt like certain times, like either episodes are out of order or they just did them wrong or something.
Well, I know that because the original costumes were so popular, they didn't want to transition to the new ones that were available in Japan.
No, so, I mean just.
So they kept reusing footage and reusing. Here's some putties with maces.
Just let them use them. Are you going to show them being used?
I think they just like stick their arm forward, and it doesn't really do much. Nothing interesting in animation.
Because I remember what confused me is like the first episode, they get their powers, they get their weapons, they use they add all the weapons together to make the cannon, and boom, good to go. But then at a certain point, they stop using the power weapons, and they were using their guns, their handguns, and their daggers.
Blade blasters.
Their blade blasters, and all of a sudden, they couldn't finish off one guy. Was it Sphinx? And then all of a sudden they get their power weapons, and it's like, oh, look, you have your power weapons. Well, this is the big new shiny thing you have for this episode. It's like, but they had it in the first episode. I don't understand.
Oh yeah, what he did was he upgraded them or something. I think that was what he did.
Or maybe it was like the first episode we saw, or that was on the VHS. I remember as a kid, I had the first 5 episodes on VHS. Maybe the first episode was a pilot,
Oh, it's possible.
I don't know, it's really weird.
There was the actual Power Ranger pilot too, with the black chick instead of the.
Oh, that one.
instead
Yeah,
of
yeah. But in the first episode, they get their Zords. Jason fights someone in an alternate dimension at first, and then he gets out of it. Then he has to fight a giant in the.
Man, I'm drawing a blank here.
In the Dinozord, and I'm like, wait, what? And then they form as Megazord, and they fight a completely different monster. I think it was weird. It was like that first. If you go back and watch that first episode, it's super odd.
Let's finish this guy.
I think my favorite monster, if I remember right, was probably Naughty Night as well, but also Sphinx. I think Sphinx had the nicest.
Sphinx, yeah.
King Sphinx had the nicest looking aesthetic to him, and I could see why they always, in the promotional stuff, they'd always use Goldar and King Sphinx together all the time, even though King Sphinx wasn't part of the main bad guy class.
All right, so we're going to wrap this one up for this episode. This is Gaming Well Wasted, and we'll see you in episode 3.